Hi friends, I am Joel John. In this video, we are going to talk about predetermination and define the term to what is predetermination. Also, we are going to look at the difference between this one predetermination and prior authorization. Predetermination is a highly recommended one, whereas prior authorization is a mandatory one. And what are all the different names for prior authorization? Also, look at the playlist of videos which will be shown on the end screen, that is the end of this video, in this about the US medical billing videos which I have created in the earlier, because I'll be adding up videos to those. Also, whatever the terms which are there are all interrelated, so watch all those videos so that in future you will have a better idea about all the terms. And after that, if you watch the playlist again, you will get a better idea. And also, I will put a playlist with the all the videos related to BPO topics as well on the end screen. Watch that if you are looking for a job in any BPO sector, so that you will be able to excel in the interview. And then I will be putting a video, end screen video, about which has all the terminologies which comes on the predetermination, mainly like the co-pay, co-insurance, deductibles, premium, all those on the end screen. Watch that as well. That will be very helpful to understand the predetermination term on this. Okay friends, now getting into the video. What is predetermination? Predetermination is like just like a sample billing. This sample bill for a particular procedure, when you give the CPT code and you can get the predetermination value or the predetermination statement from the insurance company. So what these things will clarify is, it will tell how much the insurance company is going to pay for this particular exam to the provider, and also how much value is the patient responsibility. Will that be the same? There are scenarios in which changes will happen. Those things we will discuss in detail in this video. And now let's talk about the another term which is much confused with this, that is prior authorization or pre-certification. This prior authorization or pre-certification is a number which is given for a particular CPT code, which states that whether this particular service will be paid by the insurance company. This has a validity period, like the prior authorization starting date and the expiry date. Apart from this, this will also have the CPT code, which is given for each CPT code. If it could be globally bundled, there is a scenario called as globally bundled. If it could be bundled, then you can get it on a single CPT code. Otherwise, for each CPT code, you have to get this authorization number. What happens if the prior authorization number is not there? This information will be given on your explanation of benefits or sometime on the insurance card itself. Also, the number to which you have to call up and get the prior authorization also will be given on your insurance card. If there is no other number, the predetermination number and the prior authorization number can be get from the customer care, or the customer service itself will be the most time the point of contact for giving the predetermination in case there is no predetermination number given. So now, if this prior authorization number is not there, it could lead to a fixed fine, and also it could be lead to a percentage of amount deducted from the uh, amount which will be given by the insurance company and moved to the patient responsibility. Also, there is a scenario wherein they may deny paying the entire amount of the claim, saying that prior authorization is mandatory for this. You haven't got the prior authorization, so we are not going to pay anything for this particular service. So these are the various scenarios which happen if we miss out the prior authorization. Now let's come into the predetermination again. Why we are getting predetermination? This gives a knowledge about how much money the insurance is going to pay, which will be claimed by the provider, as he will get an assignment of benefits, that's AOB from you. Along with the assignment of benefits, they get a content that if the insurance is out to pay, it will be the patient responsibility. For Medicare and Medicaid, they call it as ABN, advanced beneficiary notification. So these are the kind of document which they get. So after getting these documents, still there will be certain amount which is called as patient responsibility. You will be knowing about the terms co-pay, co-insurance, deductibles, and all these will play a vital role in finding out the value, how much the patient has to pay and the insurance will be paying. Instead of you calculating this value from your side, if you get the prior determination from the insurance company, it will be very helpful for you to easily analyze and find out the value. Like instead of you may do some mistakes when you do the calculation, but insurance will give the most accurate value. But still this differs. Why it still differs is the when you go for the treatment, before this treatment is being done, this is a planned one, and they will be scheduling it for a particular date, that this office visit should happen, this surgery is going to happen, this diagnostic procedure, this scanning or MRI or PET scanning, anything has to be taken. So this is on a defined date. On this defined date, if you are going to get a predetermination and in between some survey, some other medical necessity happens, even that could be scheduled, that could also be scheduled. On that case, your co-pay, co-insurance and family deductible values will change. For example, the family, if a particular person has a family deductible which is not met, even though this person is not going to avail any service in case of a family health plan, if this there are A, B, C, D, and there is a family deductible gap of $500, and the person for whom we are doing predetermination is he haven't yet paid anything towards the insurance deductible. Let the total family deductibles be 2000, and another one person B has already undergone some treatment for 1500, and C is going to take another one treatment for 500 before this person date. Now the whole deductibles is met. So now the insurance company will not put the deductibles as 500, it's going to be 0. So those kinds of changes will happen, and sometimes there may be an emergency treatment. For that the patient may come in, so that won't happen with the pre-planned thing. So on those kinds of scenarios, the predetermination value will be different earlier. Now as the co-pay, co-insurance, everything has changed, the predetermination value will be different now. So these kinds of scenarios are there. So when you consider all these scenarios, there is a lot of chance for the value to change. So have the predetermination done at a closer date before you go for the exam. If there is any other usage of your code, also if it's a family health plan, check with the other members in your family. Okay, so this is a scenario in which the predetermination value may change. So there are a lot of other scenarios, and also you'll be having about the maximum benefits. Maximum, if the maximum benefits is exhausted, then the insurance won't pay anything. So on that case also, because of some other family member plan, you would have forgotten about the caps. So on that time, instead of going and checking your insurance company, you may have a secondary insurance as well. For changing the insurance from secondary to for that insurance to primary, you have to call and update the COB, coordination of benefits, to the secondary insurance company. And also some cases, if you have 2 or 3 insurance company, if you get predetermination value from all the company, wherever you get the maximum paid out, you can go for that company by changing the COB again. So that kind of calculativeness will help the patient in saving the money a lot. So it's the patient who is going to determine which is going to be the primary insurer for which treatment, and whatever the leftovers can they be claimed from the secondary insurance. That's the kind of way in which the US insurance scenarios work for. So on this predetermination, there are a lot of other advantages like this as well. So before going to any treatment, I will strongly recommend the patient to call up the customer service and say that this is the treatment I am going to undergo, and try to get the CPT code from the doctor office, or else just say the description of the treatment. It's not mandatory that you should be giving the CPT code to the insurance company, and most of the insurance company don't expect that from the patient as well. If they expect that, then call your provider office and check or get the CPT code from them, or you can go it by Google. But the CPT code should be very exact match. Because of the change in the CPT code, the predetermination value will mainly change. That is the most important part. The fee schedule completely depends on the CPT codes. Okay, so based on that, the entire fees amount will change. Based on that, the predetermination values also will be changed in case of network hospital. In case of out of network, it depends on the upper cap value. Even on that case, the cap value also changes based on the CPT code. So if you are not aware of the exact things, check with your doctor office with the doctor bill and other things. You can check with them. Always check with the insurance company, sir. For this is authorization required. What can you get a predetermination for this? Predetermination can be requested by the patient as well. Even prior authorization can be requested by the patient. The reason why they mainly prefer the provider to get it is that when the CPT code differs, there will be a problem. Also, they have to give the ICD-10 code, because most of the insurance company will be comfortable on checking with the ICD-10 code. The patient won't be that much knowledgeable to go get with the diagnosis codes and procedure codes exactly, and also submit the clinicals. So as these kinds of difficulties are there, mostly provider takes that as a responsibility. And also pre-certification, prior authorization, and pre-auth, these three are the same terms. These are all a particular number which will be which has to be mentioned on the claim form. There will be in the column itself will be given as prior authorization, and the box number is 23, I think. So on that box, the prior authorization number will be there in the CMS 150 form, claim form. On the 23 box, the prior authorization number has to be mentioned, whereas predetermination is just like a bill which you get it. It's for your reference. So I think I would have explained to you in detail about the prior authorization and also the family deductible scenarios, and those scenarios were detailedly mentioned on the end screen video. So look at that as well. Share this video with your friends in WhatsApp. If you go and sit on an interview, talk to them about the prior authorization videos and medical billing related video, job related video channels, and where all the, and also share them in WhatsApp and get some videos from them as well and watch it. And I will strongly recommend you to watch my videos and also share my videos, as it's a personal help for me. Apart from that, there are also a lot of other channels which put medical billing videos. If you are going to be on a voice process, I will strongly recommend you to listen to native English speakers video, even if you are not able to understand the concept clearly. When you hear as their English is a little bit different from you, it's very mandatory. If you are going to be on a calling role, listen to that, listen again and again, so that your listening skills will improve and automatically you will be able to understand more. And if you are going to be a fresher in this field, you should be able to understand the native English speakers language, because most of the provider office people and even on insurance company, most of them will be from the western country and who are native English speakers. Their slangs will be different. So start watching those as well. So use your WhatsApp and your YouTube for your job benefits as well. That will help you a lot. And share your valuable comments. If you have any queries, type it on the comment box. Not only me, even others may look at your comments and answer, and I will also try to reply to all your comments. And it's time to say bye. It's Joel Janji signing off from you. Bye.